I'm restarting this video because I realized how depressed I looked in the first version. So welcome here. My name is Marissa. If you're new here, I am a homeschooling mum of 6. I also make videos all about minimalism and motherhood and homeschooling, homemaking. So please like this video and subscribe if you're into those kinds of videos. Today, I wanted to make a list of 50 specific things that you may not have thought to declutter. Most of my audience is actually from the US, and in the US it is currently spring, so I thought this is the perfect time to make this video because these types of videos have been really helpful to me, especially in the beginning of my decluttering journey. Let's jump straight into the list. Number 1 is mismatched razor blades. I always buy whatever razor is on special at the store, and so I usually end up with like mismatched handles to razors. You are probably the same, so get rid of those random blades and handles that you are never going to use. Beauty gadgets that you never use. You know the heatless curls thing? My hair does not curl unless it has heat. So that is something I have decluttered. So think of the beauty accessories and things that you have bought over the years. Declutter them. You probably don't use them other than a curler and a straightener. Every time we buy a piece of furniture, we need to put it together. And then we end up with all these random screws, and I always store them for some reason. So go through your drawers, find your random screws and check it out. Do you know the boxes that you keep from things like your phone and your iPad because you're like, one day I'm going to sell it? We don't end up selling those things. They end up breaking, and then we just are left with the box. You do not need 40 extension cords. Pick 1 or 2. I have gotten rid of so many different cords over the years. We still have a few. We keep them in one small box in the garage. And if we need any other cord over the years, then we will just go out and buy that cord. In case you haven't noticed, when it comes to this list, I have just written out random things that I thought of. So if you wanted it to be categorized, I'm sorry, it is not. Do you know the little tiny ones that like shape different creatures and stuff? My kids never use them. They're just extra pieces that usually lie around and I need to pick up day after day. Go through them. There's likely a lot of things that you can get rid of there. This usually happens to my kid swimmers, but I think over time they just get really stretched, and I'm specifically talking about the long sleeve swimmers. They're old and they are worn. They did their job and it's time to buy new ones. Notebooks you never use. Now, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. I know I have probably 5 notebooks and I do use them all, but I could honestly just have one and write all my notes in that one. If you're a notebooker person who can keep it all organized, good on you, but I don't think you're real. So let me know in the comments if you are real. If you're a normal person and you just have a million notebooks because you think they're cute, declutter them because chances are you're probably not even using it, just like me. Most of you watching probably don't even own CDs anymore, but we have a lot of Xbox CDs. Go through your CDs if you have them, try and play them, maybe set aside an afternoon and declutter everything that has scratches that you cannot fix. I am the type of person who holds onto plants and really hopes that they will one day just revive themselves. But if you know that it has root rot or you have had a specific plant for, maybe a few months now and it just is not looking good, just get rid of it, start again. They're not that expensive to rebuy. Games with missing pieces. Need I say more? The random toys are the random things like, your spinners, like a random truck. Those random knick-knacky toys that are super cheap, like 50 cents to $1. After they play with it once, they're not really interested in it anymore. Get rid of those because I'm sure you have plenty that are around your house stuck in corners and in between your couches. If you have a puzzle and it does not have all the pieces, does that not annoy you? Is there things around your house that you find you are constantly just moving around because they don't have a home? Next time you notice that you are picking something up and just moving it somewhere else, really ask yourself, do I need this thing? Chances are you probably don't. Everyone in your home needs one drink bottle and that is it. Friends of mine often leave containers at my house and I hate it. If you're like me, you probably have a stash in your cupboard. My kids like to draw like a scribble for 3 seconds on every page of the coloring book and then they're done. So If your kids are children, they probably do the same. Go through their coloring books and get rid of everything where most of the pages have been used up. Along with that theme, broken crayons, broken pencil sharpeners, broken rulers, all the arts and crafts stationery things. Only keep the items that, one, work, obviously, and two, are in good condition. I have a vegetables chopping board and a meat chopping board, and that is all you need. I love buying candles that are beautiful and aesthetically pleasing because I'm like, yeah, when it runs out, I'm going to use it for something else. I never ever do. So if you have random empty candles lying around your house, throw them in the bin as well. Along with the dead plant theme, when you throw out your plant, you usually left with a pot. Just throw the pot out as well, because when you buy a new plant, it's going to come in a pot. Old yuck pillows. If your pillow is yellow, it's time to declutter it. I feel like you're either one or the other kind of person, and I know it can be really sentimental and fun with heaps of memories and your calendar and stuff, but over time, those papers usually end up being clutter and they are pointless. So maybe just have a look at your fridge if you do have stuff on it. What can go? Stored kids' clothes. I learned this from Mylena Ciciati. She went through her kids' clothes in storage and she kept 5 of each item of clothing, and that is all she kept. I went through my kids' clothes and did a similar thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it down to 5 per item because there was too much nice stuff. But for you, maybe that is something that can help you as well. Go through all your stored clothes and only keep 5 skirts, 5 pants, 5 jumpers, etc. for each age of clothing. Scratched Xbox games. I know I said scratched CDs, so I guess I meant music CDs. And now we have Xbox games or PlayStation games. If it is scratched, throw it out. I wrote this because I think of my husband. He used to play footy and he was really good at it. He has a lot of medals that he loves, but unfortunately our kids have really destroyed most of them. It's junk now, in my personal opinion, and if it was up to me, I would declutter it. So if you have similar things in your household and you are happy to get rid of it, then go through that box of medals that just collects dust, get rid of them or put them on display. Think of old paint pots, old paintbrushes and trays, random things that you have probably used to fix up your house. A lot of it gets old and crusty and expired. So if you haven't gone through those kinds of things in your garage yet, sift through them and see what is now old and expired. This is probably something that is obvious, but when was the last time you truly went through your entire pantry and discovered everything that is expired? I know at my mum's, her spices and stuff, they'll be sitting there and they're like 3 years expired. So if that is you, go through your pantry, check out anything that is past its use by date. If you have random lids or even random pot lids lying around, declutter them, throw them in the bin. When you run out of a cleaner, do you keep the spray bottle? Because I do, and I never use it. Now, I know that you would think of things like, what appliances do I not use? You would declutter them, right? But what about the attachments that come with the appliances that you do use? I know for me, I do not use all of the attachments. Food processor, I do not use most of them. I only use the blade. So I could probably get rid of a lot of the attachments there. Another thing could be your vacuum. Is there any pieces that you don't know how to use or that you never use or is not useful to you? You probably have a cupboard in your kitchen where you have chucked all this stuff. So just declutter those things. Get rid of them. I always find random small light bulbs in my garage because my husband usually changes out our car lights. Over time, they're probably getting old and you'll probably want to buy new ones instead. I'm actually guilty of this. I told my husband to keep the car parts because I don't really trust mechanics here. Whenever we replace something, I like to keep the part in case what they've replaced it with breaks. Anyways, so old car parts, if you have them lying around the house like I do, take them to the dump. When I was newly married, for some reason, I would keep empty alcohol bottles. I don't know if I thought it was cool or something. All you need for your towels is 2 towels max per person and maybe a couple of towels if you have guests or your parents stay over. I have a beach towel for each person in the house and then we have one normal bath towel. We used to live in a much bigger house, and now I have all these extra bins that I don't actually need. So if you are the same and there are just bins lying around your home that you don't use, either donate them or sell them. I often get excited and go on a meal plan, and they have really weird ingredients in my meal plan. So I'll go out and buy it. I'll stop doing the meal plan after a week, and then I am left with all these baking ingredients that I'm never going to bake with myself. So get rid of everything that you know you are never going to use, or try and use them up. My mom often keeps every spice she has ever bought in her life, and I need to go there and declutter all the expired ones. So get rid of your spices, guys. I know it's easy to like throw out all the expired food in our fridge, but your pantry is just important too. As soon as you notice something has gone flat, take the batteries out and put them in the bin. I throw mine in the bin, not going to lie, but apparently you're not meant to do that, and you're meant to recycle it properly. You do you. Point is, get rid of it, declutter it. Do you have anything garden related that is old? Maybe you have old packets of seeds that probably won't work anymore. Do you have broken pegs? You probably do. Pretty sure we have 5 phones that are broken and are not usable. Before I was rudely cut off, I was saying that I need to download all the information on my old phones and then just recycle them, because we have about 5, and I'm assuming maybe you have some lying around as well. Now, you probably have those items in your wardrobe that you actually really love, but when you put it on you, you end up taking it off you. Maybe it makes you look washed out, or the cut isn't right, but think of the colors that you love but you don't like wearing. Stick to the colors that you know you feel comfortable in and that look good on you. If you have one child and she has like 10 different babies, do they really need 10 different babies? I would keep their favorite 1, 2, and if you want to push it, maybe even 3, but you really don't need duplicates. As long as they have one thing in that category, then they're probably going to be fine, and they'll just use their imagination if they want other things. If your toothpaste is twisted and you have 5 of them, please declutter them. Same goes for old toothbrushes that just look disgusting and probably have mold on them. If your undies fall off you because the elastic is no longer existent, if you have holes in them, get rid of them, declutter them, and invest in some new ones, please. This is controversial, and I get it, especially if you are a new mom. For me, I like hanging up the kids' best drawing that they have done for about a week. I will chuck that artwork in the bin and just hang up the new one. No one notices, no one cares, and so I'm okay doing that. Obviously, if your kids will get really upset, then, you know, do what you want to, or if it's really special to you, try keep it. But if you do keep everything, then maybe just go through it and declutter things that aren't really special and sentimental, or honestly that aren't their best work. Like, come on. I keep a few basics like a pajama set, workout clothes, like a few dresses and stuff, and then when I'm pregnant I will just go out and rebuy 1 or 2 new items to wear. You don't need 10 different maternity tops and 20 different dresses. Please declutter your mail. I know that we can just let it pile up, especially when it's junk mail, or for me, my biggest problem is we rent, and so we get mail that is not ours. And for the longest time, I would just keep it. But I had mail from 7 years ago to like random people, so I just ended up chucking it out. Do what feels right for you, but I'm okay just throwing out people's mail now. They should have redirected it if it was important. Those are my 50 items. I know my kids have been screaming in the background. I apologize for that. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what item you are going to now declutter in the comments down below. I hope to see you in my next video. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.